the last thing we need to do is to allow the user to add what they're viewing right now, right? So they're classifying it back in the classifier, but in addition to classifying it, we also want them to post it. So let's go and do that. So after we get the classification, right now we just set the classification text. What I'm going to do is use this notifier that I just added, and I'll drag out a choose dialog. I'm going to put this to false, and let's just to grab a text box, I'm going to say, would you like to post your sighting to our database? The title would say classified invasive plant, and then the button text for these two will be yes or no. If it's not a classification, we're going to not do anything. Then in the notifier, we can say, after choosing, and we can say if choice equals yes, and we will go to our spreadsheet and we will add a row to sheet 1, and the data is really just a list with those 4 items in it. Just again, it's date, latitude, longitude, and the class. To get the date, we're going to need a clock component, so that's under sensors. Clock. We will make a list, and we need 4 items, so 4 pieces of information. The first is the date, so we're going to go to our clock, and we will say format date. Alright, let's make ourselves some space over here, drag down. We're going to format the date, and the instant will be the time right now, which is now, call clock now. And instead of MMM, we're going to put MM/DD. And I know other countries do it in a different order, but we do month, day, year in the US. So the date, and we need the latitude and longitude, and this is going to be based upon the user's location. So we're going to do location sensor. We will check though, but let's first add this. Location center, latitude, longitude, and the last thing we need is the class. Now we don't have the class because we haven't stored it anywhere, so I'm going to make a new variable, and we'll call this class identified. We'll leave it as a blank to start, and then when we do a gut classification, let's set class identified to the item, right? So we'll store that so that over here, after we've got all the information, we can then again use that for the class identified. So we're going to add the row, and then for spreadsheet, when it returns, so it says finished adding the row, it tells us the row number that it added. So this is a little bit convoluted, but then we're going to say, well then, once you've added it, go back and read that to me and give it the row number. And that means that we then have to do a when the row is read. So when I've got the row data, Now I can go and make a marker for that row. So I will just call my make marker because I want to add that marker to my map. So we can test that out. And the one other thing I want to do is make sure that if the location center is not working, just to tell the user. So we'll put it in here and I'll say an and. So if that's equal to 0, and then we can duplicate the whole thing. And if the longitude, if both of these is 0, your location sensor is not working. So I probably would do a notifier show alert. Say no location detected, turn on location services, and try again. Otherwise, we'll do this, the add the row. Okay, so that should take care of if location is not working. So let's go and try this. I'm going to refresh my screen. I'm going to try to grab see if it can identify, classify. Okay, and we can see at the bottom, it says the plants rose with 100% confidence. Yes. And now if I view the map, getting a little crowded here, but I should, there's my rows now on top. Rows, there we are. So I had to really zoom in on that to be able to distinguish those two. But that now has appeared as a rows. So that shows us, and if we go back here, it will have added that piece of information to my spreadsheet. Okay, so that's where I'm going to stop. I think we've got a pretty good app here now, so there's all sorts of ways that we can improve upon this, and I'd love to see what you can come up with. Good luck. Happy coding.